ensure that there are adequate opportunities for those that are motivated to engage in the types of training that will connect them to quality career path employment.
What are Aurora's three greatest economic and workforce development needs? What do you think, based on the data, our state, your community, is really needed in Aurora?
One of the things that I'm finding that we have a serious problem with is the soft skills. I hate to use that word. We think they're critical skills. We lose more people because they don't show up to work, don't show up on time, and they don't have the attitude to want to work or proceed in that job and really produce for the people that are our employers.
The one thing that we all think of is that everybody's college bound. We have to realize that not every kid is going to go to college. Therefore, we have to prepare them for when they come out of school to be able to perform in the workplace.
A lot of people that come in and need to do basic entrance exams for the manufacturers. They're not able to pass.
We do have an equality gap in our communities across the country, and being that the gap between African Americans, Latino, and whites in terms of wages.
The federal government, the 2006 Budget Deficit Reduction Act they passed last February, has targeted Illinois for reduced funding of vocational education by $400 million over the next 5 years. And what you will see with the new focus on test scores that we have is less and less vocational offerings, work-oriented offerings in the classroom, and more testing type program.
I think that there's been a real problem in education in terms that parenting has failed in some situations where we have relied on our education system to raise our kids.
Ultimately, what has to happen is there has to be education funding reform within this state. We cannot, education is not an opportunity or a privilege. It should be a fundamental right of all of our children. It's up to them how well they do. It's up to them whether they take advantage of the opportunity to some extent. But it should be fundamentally a right of everyone. We shouldn't have huge gaps between the types of education that our students get from one city to another, from one district to another, or even one state to another, in my opinion. We have to invest in our children at an early age and give them an opportunity. So education funding reform, it may sound like you hear that every year, but believe me, until we tackle that, until we deal with that, we will be facing a huge disadvantage.
But we underfund basic K-12 education by over $2 billion a year. On top of that underfunding, and this is just core academic programs we underfund, and this is tied into statistically significant data that has the cost of an academic program correlated to test results. That's how much we're behind it, $2 billion. We also throw a $500 million unfunded mandate on our local schools for special education that the state throws onto local property taxes. So we wonder why local schools aren't driving the exact skills and results we want. We're not paying them to do it. We are not giving them the capacity to generate the results we need in a modern economy.
The system hasn't really evolved to be what it's designed to be. We now, as a public entity, we teach values. Here's just a quick list of things that are mandated for public education. Safety education, lousy education, sex education, bicycle safety, AIDS awareness. Those are things that are impact on the curriculum of a K-12 district that we don't have a choice to teach. Initially, the system was designed, and that's where the 3 R's came from, to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. I challenge anyone in the room that if my K-12 system was strictly allowed to teach the 3 R's, we could produce highly